Now, today, for this group discussion, unlike your real group discussion, I want to have a methodology whereby each one of you will speak out at least for 1 minute on that particular topic. Maybe you repeat the same points, doesn't matter. आप हिंदी में बोलने से भी सही है, आप अंग्रेजी में बोलने से भी सही है, but you should take a stand for or against and then talk about it comfortably. Because when I make it open for everybody to talk, say some of you, especially girls, you are not able to raise your voice. With the result, you don't get chance. And some people like Rajan, who was there yesterday, too much shy, they could not get chance to speak also. I Here is an opportunity. At least 1 minute you speak in English continuously, so that way we will experience how are you communicating on this particular point. That is my idea. With that in mind, now, um, are you? Is there anybody who has got some points in your mind? Uh, some some GD topics in your mind? Otherwise, I will give you the topic. Please note down, write down. Please write down this. This GD topic was also given in 2019. Right. The topic is should. I will show you. Should subsidy be stopped and universal basic income is implemented in India, for or against? Should subsidy be stopped and universal basic income implemented in India? This is a very good question. But the problem with this question is that some of us will not know what is universal basic income. That is where we put ourselves into problem. Can't help it. Let us see how this discussion goes. And I will go one by one and ask you to speak on this one. Okay. So to start with, the first candidate today to come in was our Manisha Bahani or Bihani. Manisha Bihani, you are from which state?
I am from Surat, Gujarat.
Surat, Gujarat. Acha, you are that married girl, correct?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Yes. In fact, he joined our group only yesterday, and when she was talking to me over phone, um, she was talking with all energy and enthusiasm. I don't know how she is going to contribute now. Are you familiar with this topic, Manisha ji?
Sir, little bit, not very much.
Mhm. But before that, let me ask you, Manisha, if you go for an interview, आपको ऐसा में भी क्वेश्चन जरूर आएगा. आपका नाम पर फेमस आदमी का बारे में कुछ बताओ.
So I remember Manisha Koirala. She is a
हम्म,
Nepalian actress.
अच्छा. नेपाली एक्ट्रेस और कुछ उनका बारे में जानते हैं?
Uh, I haven't read much about her, just
अच्छा.
normal information, this
No,
much itself.
we can get it from our group here. Group boys will be knowing more. Boys, do you have any idea about Manisha? Any other details you know about her background, education? I think
Sir, I think
she's.
her father is PM of Nepal.
हाँ, ये तो इसलिए तो ये पॉइंट पूछ रहा हूँ. समझे मनीषा?
Oh,
अदरवाइज
yes,
हम तो
sir.
पूछेगा नहीं. उनका पिताजी तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ नेपाल था. ये एक न्यूज़ है, उसका बाद में एक न्यूज़ है, उनको कुछ तबीयत खराब हुआ फॉर सम टाइम, समथिंग लाइक दैट. दैट इज ऑल डिफरेंट. वो जरूरत नहीं है. गुड. एनी अदर
Hmm.
फेमस पर्सन इन मनीषा? name? No, it doesn't matter. Manisha Koiral, sorry, Manisha Bivani, please talk on this topic. The topic I have told you, should subsidy be stopped or universal basic income concept popularized?
Okay, so thank you for giving us the topic. Basically, the idea of universal basic income, it is a social welfare proposal in which all citizens of a given population forms an unconditional transfer payment, and irrespective of the situation that subsidy must be stopped, I personally feel that it is the medium from which a normal wage earner can derive motivation to earn a living for himself. So by so it must be a responsible situation that every person has their opinion on whether subsidy must be given or not. If the income of the people or the individual is well sufficient, so he must, it might be his personal decision to grab the subsidy. But as far as I am concerned, that government is doing well giving subsidies to the people.
So now you are in favor of subsidy and not in favor of universal basic income, correct?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now we will go to Rashmi. Rashmi ji, 1 minute. You have to choose. Now first you have to choose either subsidy or universal basic income and talk in favor of that. Tell.
Sir, I think I am against the topic because I think subsidy is more beneficial for people and also for the government, because subsidy is somewhat provided to the people who are in need, and if we fix the universal basic income for every citizen of country, then it will be of more load on the government of India as well. And if we provide subsidy, then we can more benefit the people who are in need of actual need of money. So I think subsidy should be continued and not the universal basic income.
Yeah. Anurag. Anurag ji. Anurag. Anurag.
Hello.
Yeah, speak.
Yes, sir. Sir, according to me, subsidy should not be stopped, because, sir, subsidy is one type of relaxation to the weaker section and the poor community of our country. It is a relaxation in the high prices of the community where the government come in to help the weaker section. Uh, uh, Subsidies for the upliftment of the poor, and I think, sir, this is the need of the hour in our country like India, where there is a huge disparity, huge income difference between rich and the poor. And in order to make the rich and poor on an equilibrium, this is the need of the hour to provide some extra benefit to the poor by the in the form of subsidies. And according to me, sir, I think government would not stop it. Uh, because in order to remain in the possession, so it is one type of an freebie also to provide the subsidies and to woo the voters. So I think it is the need of the hour also, and the government is also in a better position to get the benefit by remaining in the uh, power. So subsidy should not be stopped, sir.
Now we will go to Tiasa.
Yes, subsidy incentive given by the government to an entity, and in this way, the subsidized products price get find it more beneficial to buy that product. Subsidy is given on education loan and also on LPG, export tax, food and fertilizer, and also in agricultural sector there is also subsidy. And I feel that subsidy should not be abolished, because mainly in agriculture sector, the farmers are the pillar of our economy, and we couldn't survive. So subsidy should be there, and uh, government should prevent the misuse of and the taking of undue advantage of people who are taking the subsidy. In some case, we have seen that some people are taking subsidy when there is no needed. But so this should be controlled strictly. So this all, sir.
Okay. Next, Abhishek.
Yes. Good
Abhishek,
evening, sir.
Abhishek.
Hi.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yes.
After Abhishek, it will be Rajan. After Rajan, Vaishnavi. Be ready. Come on, Abhishek.
Okay, sir. Sir, I believe subsidy should be continue because India is still a developing country, and there are many people who cannot even afford, the 2 times food. So subsidy actually, due to subsidy, they are able to, feed themselves. So I believe this is very, very important for the country. And the universal basic income, sir, I do not think that it should be implemented in India. But subsidy should be continued, sir.
Okay, Rajan.
Yes, sir. Subsidy in Tamil Nadu, we had this subsidy called first graduate subsidy, sir, which helped many poor students and many graduates to complete the many young kids to complete the graduation with the help of this government subsidy, sir. And many are in good position. Yes, sir. Many are in good position with respect to this subsidy. It has both its pros and cons, sir. Talking about the same subsidy, we took get these freebies which are of no use, we think, but that has also helped us in a better way. There is a team that can correlate everything what the government does. If a subsidy is given to a person, if a subsidy is given to the people, they take the impacts and the benefits and the pros and cons of the subsidy that is being given to the people, sir. So considering those things, the subsidies are provided by the government, and these things I think should be continued, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Rajan, you made a mention about only one type of subsidy and talked
Yes, sir.
about it.
Yes, sir.
Instead,
I have another subsidy.
no,
Yes, sir.
no. Instead of in GDs like this, you must
Sir.
be able to first elaborate what is subsidy,
Subsidy.
what
Okay.
are the areas where subsidy is given, and how
Yes, sir.
relevant is subsidy for the development of society, and in what way the other concept is not relevant. Like that,
Okay.
you must be able to tell. Doesn't matter.
Okay, sir.
Good. Very good. Now we will go to our Vaishnavi.
Good evening, sir, and good evening, everybody. So, sir,
Good
I would
evening.
like to start by saying that universal basic income should not be there, because it will be very difficult for the government to control that who is it is giving income to, whether it is working or not, and the use of proper initiative is effective or not. And also it promotes laziness, and because it is coming by the taxes, so proper implementation should be there if it is given. And besides universal basic income, subsidy should be promoted, because in India there is a huge diversity in people income, so that subsidies like Ujjwala Yojana, which is like giving cylinders to every household, and for fertilizer subsidies and electric bill subsidies for the farmers should be promoted, because it is very beneficial for them, and it also promotes food security. And it will help the people to come out of the poverty line, or if not, then it will help them to lead a good life.
Okay. Mr. Om. Om, are you there?
Yes, sir.
After Om, Pranay, Anjali, Shreyans. So Om, start.
Sir, I would like to say that subsidy should not be stopped, since India is developing country, and people see India as a agriculture dominant sector, and since agriculture is very important, for for country like India, I think, and agriculture sector is also totally dependent on weather. It is very uncertain. So I think subsidy should be given to farmers. Plus due to COVID, there is more unemployment, and this difference is increased more after the COVID. And plus the people who are more than 60-year-old should also do not have more work. So I think, sir, subsidy is very important for the country.
Okay, Pranay,
Good evening, sir. Sir,
good
I
evening.
think subsidy, if it is given in a limited form and to the limited sectors, then it is good. It should not be like freebies and rewadi culture, because it will ultimately increase the expenditure of the government and the fiscal deficit, which will again, we have seen the case of Sri Lanka, where subsidies can lead to debt trap and ultimately to bankruptcy. And as far as universal basic income is concerned, I remember Rahul Gandhi in 2019 had said in his campaign that he will give 6,000 rupees to everyone. But the counter argument was, but do we have the output? Because ultimately, if money supply will increase and output will not increase, it will again lead to inflation. So I think if it is in limited control, then it is good, because excess of everything is bad. It's better to work on roads and health and education, so that people have jobs and they won't need subsidy and universal basic income. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Pranay. Anjali.
Good evening, everyone. Uh, what I think is subsidies should be stopped, and there should be no universal basic income in India, because like the subsidies and universal basic income will make people lethargic. They're like, instead of giving them subsidies and universal basic income, government should work on their personal development, like giving them education and making them skill efficient, so that they can work and earn more up from their own. And if the government will not give subsidies or any income to these kind of people, this will decrease the expenditure of government, which government has usually takes from the low, which government usually borrows from outside of the world, outside in the world. So I think the subsidy should be stopped, and government should work on the personal development of the poor people.
No, I think you have said no for both. You have said no for both subsidy and also universal basic income.
Yes.
You are supposed to choose any one of these two in GDs. Actually, what is going to happen, nobody knows. But then in group discussion situations, you are supposed to choose either this or that and a speaker. Now, given that
Okay.
option, what will you do, Anjali?
Sir, if this option is given, so I will go for the subsidy. Subsidies should not be stopped. Instead, universal basic income should be stopped. Should not be implemented.
No, no, no. फिर कंफ्यूज करते हैं आप हमको बताइए और एक बार.
Sir, from my point of view, I think subsidies should not be stopped instead, and universal basic income should not be implemented.
तब तो you have said again the same thing. You are telling no for subsidy. You are telling no for universal basic income.
No, sir. I'm saying कि subsidies होना चाहिए और universal basic
ये
income नहीं होना.
आप तो ऐसा नहीं बोला. You didn't make a sentence properly like that. Doesn't matter. We will go to Ajit Tiwari. And in fact, Anjali was the girl who wrote yesterday, na? You were asking about, sir, how to prioritize. आपने भेजा ना? Or anybody else?
Yes, sir.
Anjali, yeah. So this type of doubt will be there in the minds of everybody else. So I will talk about it after this exercise is over. Now we will go to Ajit Tiwari.
Good evening, everyone. According to me,
Yeah.
sir, subsidy should not be stopped because as subsidy is given by government to support the weaker section of our society, like distributing the free food grains or food grains at a minimum price, that is public distribution system. And like Ujjwala Yojana, in which the cylinder and the gas cylinder is given at a very much lesser rate or at a free. So I think subsidy helps, and also in the fertilizer for our agriculture, the fertilizers are provided to our farmers at a subsidized rate. So these all kind of schemes that are run by government are very helpful for our weaker section of society. So I think subsidy helps to promote our the undeserved section, sorry, approachable section to uplift their social status. And also for universal basic income, I'm not in favor of universal basic income, because for implementing it, it is a very hard task for government to implement it, because efficiency in distributing the basic income, like if we are distributing some amount, lump sum amount of money to everyone of the so everyone in our country, then proper efficiency should be uh, taken in mind. And also, as subsidy is there, there is a greater social justice according to me, as in case of universal basic income, because social justice according to me means the upliftment of people that are weak and that have not been given that much opportunity to rise. So I think that will help. Subsidy will help our government to implement these schemes that they want to do.
Shansa,
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
good evening.
Sir, I think
You are,
subsidy should not be.
you are
Sir.
that Hindi seeking girl, na? Hindi seeking girl.
Yes, sir. I want to try in English.
Try KG.
Sir, I think subsidy should not be stopped because in our country there is a huge income gap between rich and poor. So to manage this gap, there must be some encouragement given by the government. Um, like in government give many types of subsidy like Ujjwala Yojana for education subsidy and fertilizer subsidy, etc. Due to Ujjwala Yojana, many women or many are motivated or encouraged to use LPG instead of fossil fuels, which is also good for the environment. So I think for encouraging people and due to uncertainty in some sector like in farming and others, there must be subsidy or some solutions given to encourage people.
Yes, good. Now, next, Nikila.
Good evening, sir.
Nikila, I think your internet, there is some connection problem. Like yesterday also, you heard it after a long gap of time only. Where are you? Which city are you living?
Sir, I'm audible.
Where are you
Sir,
living? Where are you living?
in my
In which place? Huh? नो बिल्कुल आपका आवाज ठीक से नहीं आता है। आप घर का बाहर में आ जाइए, कुछ सेल फोन टावर का नीचे में बैठिए आप, तब तो आपको सिग्नल होगा, नहीं
Sir,
होने
am
से
I
आपका
audible?
काम नहीं चलेगा। Now where are you now? Are you in your balcony? Are you in your room? Are you in your basement? Are you in your terrace? I think she can't talk now because her internet is not all right. We will go to Sahil. Sahil, बात कर लीजिए.
Hello everyone.
Yeah.
I would like to talk in favor of subsidy and against the implementation of universal basic income. I believe that subsidies are there for a particular reason. They serve a particular reason, like LPG subsidies we get. There are particular subsidies for a particular limit of cylinders. In PM Kisan gets 6,000 with 2,000 installment. And in business sector, there is PLI scheme, and there is a purpose that government want to increase the EV vehicles. They are giving subsidy on that. So all these subsidies have a particular purpose to serve. But I believe that universal basic income is not something like that. This will make people lazy, and there are more people in informal sector in India. I believe that there are people who work in cash in shops, and they can register in universal basic income and misuse that and increase the expenses of government. And I think this is difficult to manage in that case, because there are only few people who file taxes, and major chunk of informal sector runs on cash. So I would like to be in favor of subsidies.
Okay, we will go to Kanishka, but
Good evening, sir, and good evening, everyone. I would like to introduce our today's GD topic, that is, should subsidy be stopped and universal basic income should be implemented in India? So, starting with introducing subsidy, subsidy is actually the money that the government pays to people for their financial well-being and support. It helps in their development, sustainability in life. It is given in various sectors like agriculture, food, and fertilizer. Now, coming to the actual question, according to me, subsidy should not be stopped in India because there's a wide income gap in India. Top 1% of the people have 40% of the total income in India, whereas the other 99% are left with inadequate income. So, if we would stop subsidy, most of the people who are dependent on that will face a huge loss. Also, reducing this income gap won't be a fast process. It would take a lot of time. So, till then, subsidy should be provided. Also, everyone has different requirements, so we can't just decide one universal income because not everyone can fill in a single bubble. Also, if we will start using the universal income method, it will also increase government expenditure. So rather than stopping subsidy, the government should provide them efficiently, that is to the person who is actually in need of money. If the person is financially stable, then they should not be provided the subsidy.
good. Kanishka, what is the degree you have studied?
Sir, BSc Maths Honors.
Not bad. Your communication was good. What did you study? CBSE or what?
Sir, CBSE board.
Oh, that is the reason. That is why among so many people talking, the remarkable, I mean, your communication was noticed. You were able to communicate continuously the points, whether the points are relevant or not, that is different. But you were communicating in a cogent manner. That was nice. Thank you. Now we will go to Vineet. Vineet, are you there with us? Vineet, खराब हो गया. Sarayansh, are you there?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, Sarayansh, speak.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Before coming to the against and for the subsidy or universal basic income, I would like to say the basic definition. Basically, subsidy means government providing a certain extra wage relaxation to the people, especially the people who are economically background. These subsidies include Ujjwala scheme, education subsidy, house loan subsidy, etc. Whereas universal basic income is can be defined as where the government actually give a certain amount of money to the every people in a country regardless of their economic background. Now, I think subsidies should prevail over the universal basic income because when it comes to India, where there is a loss of income inequality, subsidy will be very helpful. Or I think when it comes to universal basic income, it won't be very helpful. And also I would like to add is that as ma'am had recently, Kanishka ma'am has said that if a universal basic income is given to everyone, it won't be much use for the rich people. Rather, if the government spend that income which is given to the rich people to the people who needs it, it will be much more impactful for them. So in my case, I will choose subsidy over universal basic income. Sir.
Yeah. Next is our Nikhila. Nikhila, come.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible now. Good. Very good. I am happy. Come on.
Thank you. Good evening, sir. according to me, subsidies are good, and it not should be cancelled, as subsidies offer financial incentives to industries and individuals. Also, subsidies not only reduces cost of product, it also encourage more production and supply. In India, government gives subsidy for cylinders. Only because of that, many rural peoples are using gas connection. Even lots of subsidies are
I think mm, my telling good about it has affected your internet. Your internet में कुछ खराब है या निखिला कुछ प्रॉब्लम है आपका निखिला don't worry what to do um, if possible for the till the interview I would like you to get some change your cell phone or change your internet service provider so that you will have good connectivity here my in this place connectivity is very good. I think my speed is very nice. I think it must be somewhere around, normally it used to be 300 mbps, much higher in Chennai and other places. We do have say um 100 mbps speed and all that. So um, you try to improve, I mean, your internet speed, Nikila. Now next person we will go to, I think one who came last. Has he gone out? Yeah, doesn't matter. Good. So today this compulsory exercise was given to you. How do you feel about this? Now coming to the points to be told here. Now my speed is 310 mbps. I can't take pride in this. It is being given in Canada, so that's why I'm enjoying it. Now, incidentally, many of us were speaking, but not because we don't know the definition, and you did not have time to go and verify or study it also. So, this is universal basic income. Universal basic income is a social service proposal. Who can read well? Oh, such a battery is low. Sorry. Battery is low. Just a minute. Just a minute. Are you seeing in the screen? Are you able to see the screen, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Somebody was answering nicely. Whose name did I tell? Mm, Somebody, I appreciated her now recently.
Kanishka.
Kanishka,
Yes, sir.
yeah. Kanishka. Why don't you read? Please read. Universal
Okay,
basic
sir.
income.
So, universal basic income is a social welfare proposal in which all citizens of a given population regularly receive the guaranteed income in the form of an unconditional transfer payment that is without a means test or a need to work. It would be received independently of any other income if the level is sufficient to meet a person's basic needs, that is, at or above the poverty line. It is sometimes called a full basic income. If it is less than that amount, it may be called a partial basic income. No country has yet introduced either, although there have been numerous pilot projects and the idea is discussed in many countries. Some have labeled UBI as utopian due to the historical origin. There are several welfare arrangements that can be considered similar to basic income, although they are not unconditional. Many countries have a system of child benefit, which is essentially a basic income for guardians of the children. A pension may be a basic income for retired persons. There are also quasi basic income programs that are limited to certain population groups or time periods, like Bolsa Familia in Brazil, which is concentrated on the poor, or the Thamiret program in Sweden, which was introduced by the transitional government to ease the effects of the economic crisis inherited from the Bashir regime. Likewise, the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic prompted some countries to send direct payments to its citizens. The Alaska Permanent Fund is a fund for all residents of the US state of Alaska, which averages $1,600 annually. and is sometimes described as the only example of a real basic income practice. A negative income tax can be viewed as a basic income for certain income groups in which citizens receive less and less money until this effect is reversed, then more a person earns. Critics claim that a basic income at an appropriate level for all citizens is not financially feasible. Fear that all Fear that the introduction of a basic income would lead to a fewer people working, and consider it socially unjust that everyone should receive the same amount of money regardless of their individual need. Proponents say it is indeed financiable, arguing that such a system, instead of many individual means tested social benefits, would eliminate a lot of expensive social administration and bureaucratic efforts, and expect that unattractive jobs would have to be better paid and their working conditions improved, because there would have to be an incentive to do them when already receiving an income, which would increase the willingness to work. Advocates also argue that a basic income is fair because it ensures that everyone has a sufficient financial basis to build on and less financial pressure, thus allowing people to find work that suits their interests and strengths.
Very good.
Early historic
Sufficient. I think it's a big one. I suggest you are going through this Wikipedia, but lot of history only, not much. But I am very happy that our group members, in spite of the fact many of you were not fully clear about it, but you laid the important points. You brought out the basic points important related to this one. There is universal basic income means giving everybody money. Say Ambani also money, and Ramsamy also money. So such a system is not good. That's what they say. So instead, a question of subsidy is advisable. But in GDs like this, if all of you are going to talk in favor of that, there will not be any discussion or dispute and all that for and against in this. I don't know how such a situation will face. Even if that is so, doesn't matter. You try to speak out, but at the same time, you try to explain what is basic income, what is subsidy, what are the different subsidies that are given. Like that, you can explain. And incidentally, I made a search in our what is that? Mm, Chat GPT, and it is giving me like this. Rajan, are you there?
Yes, sir.
1 minute. Yeah, this is where it starts. Should subsidy be stopped and universal basic income implemented in India, favor or against? Please read. Against stopping
Sir,
subsidies.
I am not able to see the
Oh,
screen, sir. I am
acha.
seeing.
Screen is not shown. Sorry. Yeah.
This is Word document, sir.
Yeah, Word document only.
Okay, sir. Against stopping subsidies and implementing universal basic income. Cost. Implementing universal basic income on large scale can be expensive and requires significant government expenditure. On the other hand, subsidies can be targeted to specific groups or areas which may be more cost effective.
Correct. Continue.
Yes. Inflation. If everyone has more money to spend, it may lead to increased demand and higher prices, which would result in inflation. Work incentives. Some argue that universal
Basic income.
basic
UBI.
income yes, sir. Universal basic income may reduce work incentives by providing a guaranteed income, leading to lower productivity and economic growth. Subsidies, on the other hand, may be tied to work or specific industries, encouraging employment and economic growth. Overall, the decision to stop subsidies and implement universal basic income would depend on the specific circumstances in India and the goals of the government. It is important to carefully consider the potential benefits and drawbacks of each policy before making a decision.
Very good. Now, next, somebody else. Rashmi, please read. Subsidies and universal basic income.
Subsidies and universal basic income are both mechanisms for providing financial support to individuals or groups, but they operate in different ways. Subsidies typically involve providing financial support to specific sectors or industries, such as agriculture or energy, in the form of reduced prices or tax incentives. UBI, on the other hand, provides a fixed amount of money to every citizen or resident of a country, regardless of their income or employment status. These are arguments both in favor of and against subsidies and UBI, and the decision to implement one or the other depends on various factors, including the economic and social context of a country. Arguments in favor of UBI. First, reducing poverty. UBI can provide a basic income floor for all citizens, ensuring that no one falls below the poverty line. Second, promoting economic growth. UBI can increase consumer spending, which can in turn stimulate economic growth and create new jobs. Third, simplifying the social welfare system. UBI can streamline the social welfare system by replacing multiple programs with a single universal payment. Fourth, encouraging entrepreneurship. UBI can provide a safety net for individuals to take risks and pursue entrepreneurial venture without fear of financial ruin.
Ruin. Financial ruin. Yeah. Now, next, we will go to Manisha Bihani. Manisha ji.
Yes, sir. Arguments against UBI. High cost. Universal basic income would require a significant amount of funding, which could lead to higher taxes or cuts in other areas of government spending. Work disincentive. UBI could discourage individuals from working or seeking employment, leading to a decline in productivity and economic growth. Lack of targeting. UBI provides the same amount of money to everyone, regardless of their income or needs, which may not be the most efficient way to allocate resources. Arguments in favor of subsidies. Supporting specific sectors. Subsidies can help support specific industries or sectors, such as agriculture or renewable energy, which may be important for economic development or environmental sustainability.
Just a minute. Encouraging investment.
Encouraging investment. Subsidies can encourage private investment in certain sectors by reducing the risk or cost of investment. Creating jobs. Subsidies can create jobs in targeted industries or sectors, which can help reduce unemployment and promote economic growth. Arguments against subsidies. Distorting the market. Subsidies can distort market competition by artificially lowering the cost of production for certain industries, which can create unfair advantages for some businesses over others. Inefficient allocation of resources. Subsidies may not be the most efficient way to allocate resources, as they can incentivize the production of goods or services that are not in high demand. High cost. Subsidies can be expensive, and the funds used for subsidies may be better used for other purposes, such as social welfare program or public infrastructure. In conclusion, the decision to implement UBI or subsidies depends on the specific economic and social context of a country. Both mechanisms have their advantages and disadvantages, and policymakers should carefully consider the cost and benefits of each approach before making a decision.
In a GD, of course, we can't make a common statement like this. We have to take a stand and then speak up. In India, during COVID crisis, our government adopted universal basic income concept, like allocating food grains for the 85 crore of people. I hope all of you are aware of that. 85 crore people were given free food grains for not 1 year, probably 2 years or so. Is it 2 or 3? I don't know. So many number of years we were given free food. That is one way of this universal basic income. But the other way by which other advanced countries follow is by sending remittance directly to the credit of the account of the citizens. That's what is happening in America, Canada, and other places, where instead of giving food grains, they give money. They give money, $100, $600, like that they give you. So that is what. But people are not in favor of universal basic income. Still, United States and advanced countries wanted to adopt this because the economy was in a very doldrum stage. And in order to revive that, they had to do this. So thank you so much. We have discussed so many points. This is how we have to study and then do things. Now, coming to the question raised by Anjali, where she was asking a very interesting question to me. I think I answered it in our Telegram also, is it not? I think I answered it in. Have I answered you, Anjali?
Yes, sir.
In Telegram itself, I have answered. You know, the question she asked was, Sir, this is the prioritization exercise. How to prioritize this? How to prioritize this? No, this question is not easy to answer. In that, not because I don't know, but in my view, there is no definite answer for that. For example, I will show you. She has showed like this. She has sent a screen like this. Yeah. This is the screen sent by her. Are you seeing the Telegram screen before you? I think you must be seeing all of
Yes,
you.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Important qualities in life, rate them in their order of priority. Truthfulness, honesty, integrity, openness, flexibility, adaptability, adjustment, caring. And the reason and the answer I gave, it is like this. There is no the correct answer for this because my eyesight is not good. You have to, I'm not able to read. You have to set some priority and decide and later argue in favor of those points. To be frank, everything is important. When we have to set priority, I will do as follows. That is, I set certain points in my mind and I put it like this. And then when I go for GD, maybe I will argue in favor of this. No, flexibility is the very important thing because flexibility, if you are flexible, everybody will like you. Every problems will be sorted for you. So I think flexibility is a very, very important thing. Similarly, adaptability is a very important quality. See, in our circumstances, say, change from time to time. Sometimes it is hot, sometimes it is cool, sometimes people are nice, sometimes people are not nice. But we must be in a position to manage to adjust to them, adapt to them. Then only we can make as a member of a team and carry out our responsibilities properly. Likewise, you should talk. Now, the point is, so if I am going to tell like this, will my view be accepted? There is no answer for that. Much depends on the way you go and sit in your seat, the kindness with which you are looking at the eyes of others, the confidence that is seen in your eyes. ये सब calculate होता है to decide about how you are being rated. For example, out of so many people talking, Kanishka's voice was heard differently and the clarity was heard differently. So not that others did not speak well, but then it all depends on how maybe for a few others, maybe others voice would have been heard well. It depends. ग्रुप में ज्यादा आदमी को जिसको वॉइस अच्छा लगता है, जिसको कम्युनिकेशन पैटर्न बढ़िया लगता है, उनको पॉइंट तो कैरी हो जाएगा. Am I making it clear? Would anyone like to comment? Please speak in English, whatever points you want to speak.
So if in a panel, 5 to 6 members agree on a same point, so should we rather agree with them or we should stand at our own point?
See, the exercise will be given like this. You will be given the topic. You will be given 2 minutes time to think over that. During that time, you will decide in terms of for or against that proposition. So you will be ready with all the points. So I would suggest you to go according to whatever decision you have made initially, because if you stand on two boats, you can't reach any place. समझ गया? You have to
No,
travel
sir,
in one boat.
I am talking about the group exercise topic, wherein we have to come to a conclusion part. The Anjali, as said by Anjali, that how we can prioritize this in this group discussion exercise. If 5 to 6 member agrees on a point, so we should agree on that point, or we
Yeah,
should just take our stance.
automatically उसको agree करने से अच्छा होगा. Supposing Manisha has marked flexibility as a third point, but group में जब members सब बात करते हैं, वो लोग flexibility number 1 बोलते हैं, तब तो it is better for you to agree to that rather than fighting over your views. समझ गया? Because within those 10 or 15 minutes, you must be able to come to a consensus. See, now you can ask me what will happen if consensus is not received. Even that situation is not ruled out, but in majority of the GDs, the facilitator has been advising the groups to come to consensus. They will force it on you. So in that case, it is better to go along with the group. Here, the question of adaptability will come, you are getting adjusted to others, or rather you are being more amenable to others. So that way it is better to agree for that one. Okay?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, being negative in group discussion will not create a negative impact of myself.
Negative ka matlab, what is it, or
Sir,
which point?
if I speak against
Love
against
marriage.
the topic,
Supposing we have a topic love marriage versus arranged marriage.
sir,
You
so
can
then
talk
always
in favor of any point. You can talk in favor of love marriage or arranged marriage. उसमें तो कोई अर्जा नहीं है. But the words that you are using, again, I am telling you, but sometimes even when I talk harshly. Rajan will know it. So likewise, but such expressions to be avoided. Could you
sir,
follow
it
what I?
means we have to play safe.
Not play safe. We have to be diplomatic. अभी देखो राहुल गांधी ने क्या बनाया, जैसे रूस बात करते हैं ऐसा अभी जाने से तो एक बात कर लिया, उसका वजह से तो उनको प्रॉब्लम हो
Yes, sir,
गया.
he has removed from parliament.
No, I don't say what he said was wrong. What he said is right. I do not support him. I do not oppose him. But as an educated person, should we not have the, now I think many of the politicians, they are losing this culture, culture they are losing. They talk, especially Taisha's chief minister, she talks something rubbish.
Yes, sir.
But I am not against Mamata, but still, why should we talk against others unnecessarily in a harsh manner? Are you going to get some benefit out of that? Huh? Except that now this fellow has been removed from parliament. How hard it takes to get into parliament, and now for that, say, midterm election is to be conducted. So how much cost it will incur? But of course, I think some change will come in this. But the problem is, and for this, the person responsible is only Rahul Gandhi. In the
Yes,
year
sir.
in the year 2013, it seems that then UPA government brought an ordinance stating whenever a person is accused for 2 years, convicted for 2 years, you should not be removed immediately. There should be a time gap of 90 days or 30 days. Some such points they brought,
But sir,
but
they did not implement it.
they did not. That was mainly because of this Rahul Gandhi. It seems he said it is rubbish. It is not a useful one. Aisa bol diya us samay par. Probably they listened to that, so they did not pursue with making it a law. Not big. Maybe that meant that alone may not be the reason, but that would have been one of the reasons. Is it okay? So that's
Yes, sir.
what it is. So why did I raise this point?
Sir,
Um,
negative in group against in group.
नेगेटिव ऐसा कुछ नहीं है नेगेटिव है पॉजिटिव है जब वर्ड्स यूज कर रहे हैं तब हम लोग हार्श रिमार्क्स नहीं यूज करना है नो नो आई डोंट थिंक गर्ल्स आर वेरी गुड इन दिस नो नो बॉयज आर सो बैड इन दिस ऐसा मपी वर्ड्स व्हेन यू यूज फिनिश्ड you will be downgraded समझ गया
Okay, sir.
that's the point good thank you so much that much for our VD exercise today and uh, tomorrow also we will have it like this but if I am tomorrow for exercise 26 5:30 I have given time then 6:30 so better we will have it at 8 o'clock 8 o'clock only we will start we may go till 9:30 or 10 including GD tomorrow. 8 o'clock will be our class tomorrow. Now continuing for our interview purposes, this much is for our GD. इतना GD के लिए sufficient है today.